Hello students, this is a short video on how to do a training in MindTap. Let me pull up my Blackboard screen. Now, I've already navigated into my class and I'm going into course content. And I'm going to scroll down to the assignments link. Unit 1 is where I need to go into for this particular one. And I'm working with just Concepts Module 1 right now, so I start with that. Learning objectives, etc. And then there's the training. Here's the reading to be done. You need to read first. But since I'm demonstrating how to do the training, I'll click on that. And you can launch it. Now, you can always check your system here to make sure everything's working right. Hopefully the first time you did that, you shouldn't have to do it again. But if something doesn't pop up, it wouldn't hurt to click on this to see if there's a change to your system. Click on the Start button. It's going to open up the window for the task, and I go ahead and actually expand that out to maximum window simply so I don't accidentally click on something behind the window and get a little confused because my window disappeared. Now most of these tasks, not all, but most of these tasks will have some kind of video component, and they also have a task list. So let's look at the task list first. For this one there are several, there's 16 of them that you have to be able to answer. For Mac users, there is a Mac help that tries to tell you what you might do in order to accomplish the same task as what's being required based on the PC environment, that they show you how to do that in a Mac environment. And then there are some shortcut keys, and they give you how you would, what it does here, but what you would hold down in order to accomplish that task in Windows or in a Mac. So I'm going to go back to the task list. We usually just start off with task 1, but you could jump to one that you think you know the answer to, run through it, and then go on to the next one. You'll notice that you can restart a task. So if you did poorly and want to go over that one again and listen to it, you can go to a previous task or a next task. For right now, I'm going to go back to task 1. Unfortunately, you cannot fast forward. You can't just drag the little video indicator forward or backwards, so you can't skip the video and get straight to the question. The other thing I want to point out to you is if you are in a library or something and you don't have headphones, you can mute this and turn on the closed captioning. Now I showed that in the classroom. It's not showing yet because we're not playing the video, but I showed that in the classroom. And then also you can get a text copy. It's not pretty, it just runs it all together. But you could print that out, right click, and you could choose the print. It's going to print it all together, but at least you'd have the transcript. You could copy all of the text by just highlighting it all and pasting it into a Word document, and then you could kind of go in there and make paragraphs out of some of this. So we'll turn off the training there. So now we're going to turn on the speakers and we're going to play.
Life was different before the internet. To manage their finances, your grandparents had to make a trip to the bank. But most banks today let you track your balances in a web browser or with a mobile banking app.
Now you can pause it with the key down at the bottom on the little toolbar. I'm showing it with closed captioning on. I can now turn that off if I want and continue on.
You can also pay bills online, send and receive money, and manage a stock portfolio. Instead of driving to the grocery store or the mall, you can shop online and have everything delivered to your door. The retail sector has been transformed by the ability to quickly research products and read customer reviews online. Fitness apps and devices make it easier than ever to track your progress. The newspaper on your parents' doorstep was literally yesterday's news. Now you can be notified of events as they happen and read a wide range of opinions. E-learning has become a huge part of education, allowing you to attend class virtually. With all these changes comes the responsibility of good digital citizenship. meaning you use technology in an ethical manner and that you treat other online users with compassion and dignity. It also means you're eager to connect and collaborate in new ways, and that you're willing to assist those who aren't as proficient with online tools.
So here's our question that accompanies the video. Responsible use of technology can include which of the following? Select all that apply. Okay, one of those multiple answer questions. Tracking your physical fitness using an app, teaching a friend or family member how to navigate social media, sitting alone playing a game on your phone all night, responding to fellow users with compassion and dignity. Well, I know that one sounds right. And let's see, responsible use, yeah, tracking my physical fitness and teaching a friend. So the only one that's not really of responsible use is B. So we'll click on Save Answer. If we got it right, it tells us, and it saves the answer. It goes on to task 2. If we got the question wrong, we can pull down the task list. We got a check mark, so we got it good. But if we had a red X there, we could go back and play that, and you'd have to play the full video again to get to the question. Unfortunately, you can't skip ahead. Now, we're ready for the second one, and I'm not going to go through all 16. I'm just using this as a demonstration. This is a minute and 10 seconds.
The many interconnected monitoring devices that make up the Internet of Things are rapidly changing the ways we live. Occupancy detecting devices in your home or office include thermostats that save energy by heating or cooling only when someone is present. And since they're connected to the internet, they can also adjust settings according to the local weather forecasts. There are smart plugs, light switches, and light bulbs that you can configure to light your home at sunset. And to ward off burglars, they can make it appear as if you're home even when you're not. All-in-one home security devices can monitor temperature, humidity, and air quality. They can also capture video and have motion sensors that trigger a siren and notify your phone of suspicious activity. Video doorbells alert you before someone even rings the bell, letting you communicate through an app on your phone. Smart locks can automatically unlock your door when you arrive home, allow temporary access to a friend, and lock up for you in the morning rush. For ultimate convenience, many devices respond to voice commands using Alexa or Siri and can be controlled from your smartphone. When you're on the go, automotive devices can monitor your car's fuel efficiency, log trip mileage, and translate those pesky engine codes.
Okay, a video doorbell can assist you by, and again, select all that apply. Well, I don't think they're going to monitor fuel efficiency. I don't think it's going to unlock my door as I approach it. It will alert me if somebody has come to my door. And it will allow me, in a lot of cases, to talk to the visitor even if I'm not at home. So I think that B and D are the right answers. And again, we got those correct. Now, this next one's a little longer, and it is assisting users with limited mobility. Let's go through one more.
Assistive technology enables people with limited mobility, including restricted use of their extremities or lack of strength, to use computers. To help someone with limited mobility, explore options that best support their preferences and abilities. Everyone is different, and the best approach often combines both software and hardware solutions. Hardware options include keyboards with larger, easier to press keys, or a mouth-operated joystick, which operates like a mouse but doesn't require hand movement. You can also find mounting equipment that greatly facilitates access to a laptop or tablet. Virtual assistants like Siri and Cortana allow users to speak instead of typing, to work with apps, input text, and get information. Computer operating systems also include dedicated accessibility features. For instance, Mac OS, Microsoft Windows, and Chrome OS all include a sticky keys feature, so users can issue keyboard combinations one key at a time, as well as automated clicking and dragging, so you can use a mouse or touchpad without needing to press. Each OS also includes an on-screen keyboard, which enables a variety of alternatives to a traditional keyboard. These can include reconfiguring the on-screen keys to support typing with one hand, and integration with a switch-enabled device, such as a head-controlled input system. Switch-enabled devices are input and output peripherals that respond to small motions, such as a slight gesture, head turn, or sip and puff. Users can interact through scanning, navigating through menus with slight movements, and Morse code, which allows for fast data entry.
Okay, this just has one yes or no question. Some assistive devices allow users to input data via Morse code. Well, she just said that, but I'm going to pretend, and I'm going to say no, even though I know the answer is yes. When I save this, it'll say incorrect, retry. When I do the retry, luckily I don't have to play, so I was wrong a while ago. Usually you have to replay everything. I'm happy to see that we don't have to do that. Used to, you did. So now we can say yes and save our answer when we get it correct. Now, let's say that we're running out of time, and even though we've got, 3 of the tasks done, we've got to stop with what we're doing. So what we can do, just don't click the green submit button because you don't want to submit anything you're not finished with. But you can close it out, close out that screen. It's going to come back and tell you you're going to have to relaunch this activity to complete the task if necessary, and then click submit to record the score, so it tells you when you might need to click submit. Click on OK, and we're just going to step right back out of this. So later on we have a little more time to work on it, and we go back into it. We launch it. The good news is we haven't lost the first 3 tasks. They are answered and they're still there. So we'll start. And again, I just maximize it so I don't click on something outside of the screen. And you'll see those 3 are still there. Now, as you go along watching videos and answering, and you finally get down through all of them, and I'm not going to try to do all of these in this one setting, but what will happen is when you've finished all of them and you get correct answers or whatever on all of those, it will automatically submit without you having to click a submit button. Now, as you noted previously, when we got these 3 tasks and we closed early, and then it come back and said you may have to relaunch this and you might have to click on the green submit button. If you know you've got them all completed, then go ahead and click on the submit button if it doesn't auto submit. Okay? Now, one of the reasons I like the green submit button is you waited a little too late to get this done, and it's due tonight, and here you are worried about trying to get it all through and finish. And you got 4 of these in this Unit 1 module as the example we have. You may only get to like number 14 and the time is getting really close to the time it's due on the last night. If that's the case, what I would do, however many I've got finished, even though I don't have them all done, I would submit something. Some grade is better than a 0. So I'm going to go ahead and do a submit, and it says you have not completed all the tasks in this training. Do you want to submit? Now, normally I would say cancel and let me go back and do the rest of it. But if, like I said, time is short and I want to make sure I get some credit for this, I'm going to click on OK. And it's just going to tell how many I got completed out of the 16. It asks you if you want to print that. A person can print it if they want to. I'll show you what that looks like maybe. Yeah, it just shows you the same kind of thing in an outline mode. And you're just going to click on close. Okay. Now, you go back, and let's say you try to start that. Does it come back to my 4 of 16? Yes, it does. However, if the time has passed, I can still work on it because my due date's not passed. Now, technically it is in this scenario when I'm making this particular video, but it hasn't passed, let's say. So even though I click the submit button, if I still have time, I can go ahead and get a few more answered, or get them all answered if it's not the day it's due and within the few minutes before it's due. So you could still come back in even with the submit button up until the time that it expires. Once the time ticks over on that due date, you can't come back in and submit anything. And I would say make sure you submit something at that point rather than nothing. Because like I said, some kind of grade is better than a 0 grade. Now that concludes doing this part of our training. These grades, as they would be submitted, we can close this one out. As they show up, I don't know if it'll show up in my grades yet or not. Module 1. Okay, not showing coming across yet. So I'm going to take you behind the scenes here for just a second, if I can get there from here as a student, which I can. Okay, let's say I go back into the assignment. I go into Unit 1, and I'm just going to go into the first folder and go back to the training, and I'm going to launch it. Now I'm going to click on this X because I want to get in the back door for just a second. You can, the only problem is with this score is that it's not reflective of everything for you. So let's see here. I think I'm getting into the wrong thing here. This doesn't look like Carla. This is actually teacher. I don't want to go in there as a teacher, so I'm going to close back out of that. What I was going to show you is that it would show you your score for you, your name in there, but if I open that up now, it will show everybody's, and FERPA won't allow me to do that, and I don't want to do that. So you could go and see yours, and then you could see how you did and what grade was recorded. Okay, so I would close that back out again, and I actually would just close the tab. So we'll let this be the end of this particular video training.